Alright, welcome back. You tune in to Market Fatafat, where we're getting you all the buzzes in trade on the back of news floor, on the back of technical charts. And now on the technicals, we're joined by Osho Krishan, Senior Analyst, Technical and Derivative Research, Angel One, joining us. Hi, good afternoon to you, Osho. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us today. Osho, you've picked out one from the auto pack, and that's Ashok Leyland. Tell us what you see in the charts for this one. Now, it is a day for the auto companies because the auto sales numbers are have started trickling in. But for Ashok Leyland, it has moved up 11-12% in the last 6 months. From here on, do you see it to pick up steam going ahead?
Good afternoon to all of you, and firstly, thank you for inviting me at the show. Well, yes, looking at the technical perspective of Ashok Leyland, then in the last week, there has been a very positive development in this counter. Especially, we can see on the technical front, there is a flag and pole kind of a breakout that is being seen on the weekly time frame chart. And even on the monthly time frame, we have witnessed 3 white soldiers on the technical parameters, which both the parameters construes very positive for the technical perspective of Ashok Leyland. So I'm expecting that any dip towards the zone of 245, that will be the retesting of the breakout, so that can be seen as a buying opportunity in the counter, and it is on the verge of giving a fresh breakout. So on the higher end, I'm expecting the time it surges beyond 255, we can see decisive upside movement in the counter, and on immediate basis 270 is the target that I am expecting in the short run, followed by 290 to 295 from medium term time frame.
All right, moving on to the next counter that is in focus today, and that is Godrej Properties that is in focus. Godrej Industries, I beg your pardon. Now, the company has made investment of 285 crores in Godrej Capital Limited, its subsidiary, and consequently, the company now holds 90.89% of the total paid-up share capital of Godrej Capital Limited. On the back of this, Godrej Industries is in focus today. It has given up all the morning gains, is currently at the lowest point of the day, trading with cuts of almost 2.5%.
Okay, so that's Godrej Industries for you, but shifting focus to the defense sector then, Bharat Dynamics or BDL. Osho, you've picked up this for us. Tell us, what do charts indicate for this one?
See, for Bharat Dynamics, no doubt the counter has already been into a very positive terrain, but looking at the recent consolidation around the zone of 20-day exponential moving average and the buying traction in the last 3 trading sessions, the counter has emerged again as a decent buy perspective from here onwards. So I expect that in the coming or in a very short term perspective, 2100 can be the levels that one can expect in BDL, followed by 2400 from medium term time frame. So overall, the technical structure is very positive, and one should look for buying opportunity in the counter.
We could see buying opportunities as far as Bharat Dynamics is concerned, but shifting focus to Texmaco Rail then, the counter is in focus on the back of an order win where the company informed the exchanges that they've bagged orders worth about 28 crores. This is from Southwestern Railway rather. So on the back of this order win that has come through, although it's not a big order, 28 crore worth of order, the stock is holding up with gains of nearly 0.5% as we speak.
All right, Texmaco Rail in focus today, but moving on to BEL and another order win candidate. Tell us, Rabinder, take us through the details of this order win.
Well, as Bharat Electronics is in focus, the company has said that they have secured additional order worth Rs 528 crores since the last disclosure made on 20 June 2025, and the major order received include radars, communication equipment, EVNs, jammers, shelters, control centers, spares, services, etc. So back of this order, Bharat Electronics is in focus, and the stock is also trading at its all-time high level, and stock is up more than 2.5%.
Okay, so that's Bharat Electronics for you, but shifting focus to the mining sector then, GMDC. Osho, this one is up nearly 2.5% today and has surged 16% over the last 1 month. But will the momentum continue?
See, overall, this counter, yes, as you have pointed out very positively, that this counter has been into a very strong traction from the zone of nearly 280 till 420 right now, and it is even on the verge of giving a breakout on the weekly time frame perspective. That means on the broader time frame, it is approximately on the verge of giving a breakout. So I expect that on immediate basis, 435 to 440 can be seen as the first immediate hurdle or first potential target for short-term traders. But the time it surpasses the zone of 440, then we can see decisive upsurge in the counter, and the momentum should continue towards 480 in the short-term period. So one should be watchful in the counter, and if already holding a position, it is advisable to hold with 400 as a stop.
Right, moving on then to the next counter which is in focus today, and that is NMDC, the shares for which tumbled 3% as company lowers the iron ore prices by a good 9%. In fact, the revised prices are like, our Baila lump is approximately 5,700 per ton versus an earlier 6,300 per ton, which is down 9.5%. And Baila fines, that stands at 4,850 per ton versus 5,350 per ton, which is down 9.3%. On the back of this, on the back of these price cuts, NMDC is declining in trade today with cuts of 3%.
Okay, so that's NMDC for you. On the back of price revision, the stock continues to remain in focus. But Osho, you've picked up LIC for us. The stock is down nearly 0.4% in today's trading session at about 969. But where do you see it headed from the current level?
LIC is looking very positive on the technical chart, even on daily and weekly time frame perspective. On daily, the counter has seen a very strong traction from 20-day exponential moving average and has started gaining a decent traction. So I expect that in the short run, 1000 is the immediate price, and the time it surges beyond 1000, then we can see further continuation towards the zone of 1100, followed by 1120 from short-term perspective.
So 1120, those are the kind of levels that we could see for LIC. But shifting focus to Kalpataru projects then, this one is also in focus on the back of order wins. Although the stock is not reacting in tandem, the news flow is that the company along with its international subsidiaries has secured new orders, and this is worth about 990 odd crores on the back of order wins. Kalpataru project continues to remain in focus, but as I mentioned, it is not moving in tandem, now sitting with a cut of nearly 1% as we speak.
All right, moving on to the next counter that is in focus today, and that is Bank of Maharashtra that is in focus. Now, the AGM proceedings says that the shareholders have approved fundraising worth 7,500 rupees via a QIP, FPO or preferential issue. And on the back of this fundraise news, Bank of Maharashtra is in focus today, trading with gains of more than 1.5%.
Okay, so that's Bank of Maharashtra for you. But apart from that, Osho, you've also picked up this counter on the technicals. What do charts suggest?
See, overall in this week, Bank of Maharashtra has seen approximately 7% of gains. That too after the very strong consolidation near the short-term moving average. And now the counter looks very much potential. It is having very much potential to keep the momentum on the higher end. So on immediate basis, the first target that can be seen in this counter is near to 62, and once it surpasses the zone of 62, then we can see 68 followed by 70 kind of a zone from medium term perspective. So it is on the verge of giving a fresh breakout, and 62 will be the first target that one can expect in this counter from short term point of view.
All right, moving on to the next counter from Bank of Maharashtra to Vodafone Idea. Ravinder, tell us what's the news flow on Vodafone?
Well, as Vodafone Idea has announced the next phase of its 5G rollout with new network deployment now underway in 23 cities, and this include Ahmedabad, Agra, Aurangabad, Kochigod, etc. And this expansion covering all its priority circle of the country will be executed in a phased manner. Company said that this will follow VI's recent 5G launches in Mumbai, Delhi, NCR, Bangalore, Chandigarh and Patna, and it's a part of VI broader strategic rollout in 17 priority circle where it has acquired 5G spectrum, and the users with 5G enabled devices as in the newly announced city will be able to access 5G services as the services go live. And as an introductory offer, VI is providing unlimited 5G data on plans starting from $299. So back of this, Vodafone Idea is in focus.
Okay, so Vodafone Idea in focus on the back of that, but shifting focus to SBI then. Osho, I was going through the chart. SBI has barely done anything on a year-to-date basis. It's up just 3.5%, underperforming the benchmark indices. But going forward for the rest of this calendar year, where do you see the stock headed?
See, overall, no doubt this counter has not performed or not has outperformed the benchmark index. But looking at the overall sentiment that the counter have made in the entire financial year, then this year the counter has seen a positive traction and has been in the cycle of higher highs, higher lows. Currently now it is at a very strong juncture of a breakout. So 820 is a very strong resistance for the counter, and it is on the verge of giving a breakout. Once it does, then we can see higher levels towards 870 to 880 from a short-term point of view, and I am expecting a very strong momentum coming in the counter in the near term. So one should definitely look for buying opportunity in SP.
Look for buying opportunities in SBI. That's the technical view coming in for the largest public sector bank. But shifting focus to Prestige Estates then, the company has informed the exchanges and they've announced the launch of its new residential project, Prestige Pallavam Gardens in Chennai. The company also said that total saleable area of this particular project stands at about 3.1 million square feet and the gross development value stands at 3,350 odd crores. So new project coming up, and on the back of that, the stock is in focus. The stock has given up all the morning gains, but despite that, in focus in the back of this.
Alright, moving on to the next counter is Tata Com. You've picked up Osho for us. Tell us what you see on the charts.
The overall Tata Communications has not performed very well as per its peer companies, but in the recent period, the counter has started gaining strong traction, especially from the short-term moving average, and after a very long period, the counter has emerged above the 200-day simple moving average. So I'm expecting that in the coming future, there is a high potential for the counter to start moving on the higher end. On immediate basis, I am expecting 1760 to be seen as the immediate hurdle, and once it breaches the zone of 1760, then we can see further continuation towards the zone of 1900 to 1950 from medium term time frame. So one should stay watchful in the counter and can accumulate at current levels for a decent returns.
Should accumulate at current levels for decent returns. That's the word coming in on Tata Communication. But NCC, Rabinder, the stock is in focus on the back of an order win, I believe.
Well, as NCC is in focus, the company said that they have received order valuing 1690 crore in the month of June 2025, and this order are related to building division. This order are received from the state government agencies and private limited company and does not include any internal order. So back of this order win, NCC is in focus.
Alright, with that, we're completely timed out in this edition. So Rabinder and Osho, thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us with all the stocks. But